I think we've set the context around this is an experience, it's a learning experience. We haven't faced this sort of, for some of these girls, rock star status. I mean, we got off the bus yesterday and you got kids screaming, you know, to see their idols. I mean, before the Olympics, we could have walked around anywhere and nobody would have noticed us. So the world's changed, and with that we have to change with it. And internally we've had to put systems in places, processes in places to just limit the distractions that just weren't there before. So when you come into the US game, you know you're playing the best team in the world, there's no doubt about that. We were an awful history against them, and we're playing them on home soil where people expect us to win. And you know why we enjoy that? I think at the same time we've got to say, look, what can we take from this game? One, everyone has to be at the personal best to even get near the US for a result. So we've done everything we can to do that and keep that focus just on those people achieving personal bests. And on the other side of it, it's, well, we've got to get ready for 2015, because this is what life's going to be like. In the build up to 2015, around 2015, it's just going to be nuts. So, you know, we've brought in a mental trainer with that sort of experience of working in these sort of environments. And for myself, it's, look, what we've always done against the States won't work, and we have to try some new things. So, you know, you're going to have to beat them to win a World Cup, and we're going to start now with a few little changes to see, you know, whether we can get a heads up on them.
You know,
yeah, I think
want to try out?
Absolutely. I mean, Canada have been fantastic in that space. I mean, that's what we've been renowned for. We had the most shots, the least amount of shots in the whole top 5 at the Olympic Games, but we scored the most goals. We were second top scorers. So it tells you we're a very clinical team. We always have been. So our DNA currently is power, the defensive side, precision, which is the counter-attack, and what we've worked on for the last 9 months is control. You know, increasing the number of passes, increasing the consistency of passes. But it's different against the US, and we have to get back to that DNA piece of precision, because once you let the US set their block, they're so physical and so quick, it's so hard to break them down, and there isn't a team in the world that's managed to figure that one out yet. So it's getting back to some habits that really make this team successful, and we've just been enforcing that this week and encouraging it. And when you put Tancredi, Sinclair, Matheson and Schmidt together, if we can get those players on the ball quickly, they're the things that make things happen for Canada. I mean, we said this would happen. You know, it's a 3-year journey to increase this DNA strand of control, and there's times where there's certain games that where we're at currently, if we try and play like that, you could be in big trouble. So you can play that against Holland, Switzerland, South Korea, China in the Cyprus Cup and in the Four Nations, but you go up against the world number 1 and you try and do that. Our error ratio at the minute's too high playing that way, that you just get punished. So it's now going, look, we've evolved the control, we'll bring a little bit of that DNA, but the focus now is on power and precision, and that's the bit you absolutely need to stay with the USA. You know, when you bring fresh faces in, they just bring a new energy, and they're very young, so they're like the babies in the team, and we've got some girls that are getting close enough to be old enough to be mothers as well. So, you know, there's a real good dynamic and chemistry there. You know, Sinclair is thinking back to the days when she was 16 and she had the Charmaine hookers looking after her. So, look, it's not great, you know, I've got to say that. You know, you would hope that when one player leaves, you've got someone ready to replace them at the level or above the level. You know, we've certainly got a girl in Buchanan that she could be the next Sinclair, not as a striker but as a centre-back. She's got those sort of traits. But in the depth of the squad, I'm going to say it's going to take some time to get those other young players up to speed. And will they be ready for 2015? Probably not. But 2019, whoever takes over will be in a much better position than I was. So that's where I'm hoping that, you know, we transition some players in. And yeah, we might have to still play with an older team in 2015, but 2019 there'll be a longevity. Yeah, I mean, we pushed the issue. Rachel was out with an injury. We've been trying to grab her January, Cyprus, and we hadn't even had much of a chance to see her play in the Pro League. We wanted to see her in action there, whether she could handle that league. We'd seen her at Stanford, but college is very different. And to be honest, she still had some aspirations of playing with the US. We've certainly changed her mindset. Bringing her into camp, we wanted to, you know, really show her, you know, what this team's all about, and I think she's fallen in love with it. So it's in the hands of FIFA now. We expect a favourable decision, and fingers crossed we might get something back next month.
Okay, 3 of the players that you named about your midfield, you got Sinclair, Matheson, and Schmidt. Those are 3 of the biggest playmakers in the NWSL. Have you really seen an improvement in their playmaking abilities and the ability to control the midfield after 7 weeks of constant games?
I think you're hitting the nail on the head there. The confidence from these girls, they've come in with a real high level of confidence. You can see that there's a bit of air of, you know, they've rose above a bit, and it's great to watch, and they find each other, they're looking for each other on the pitch. So if we can get that chemistry going in games, you know, this is a group that's grown together. I mean, Schmidt, when I came in, was a centre back. You know, people were saying put her at the back, but she's got so many other qualities. Now you're starting to see the type of player she can be. So I think the key now is, with the NWSL, it's started quite quickly, and while you've got great strengths of that confidence, there's some girls haven't been getting on the pitch. There's some girls carrying injuries. There's some girls that are drained physically from the travel, the game schedule. So you're starting to go, right, we have to get to grips with this and take the pros with the cons, but let's get some strategies in place, because the World Cup, they could be coming straight from an NWSL environment into a World Cup environment, and we have to definitely tidy a few things up. Yeah, well, listen, it could go on a bit longer, but fingers crossed we might get something next month. If we don't, it'll be the month after. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll push it with FIFA and see if we can get Rachel through a bit earlier. That might put her in contention for Germany, but we're not holding our breath. I mean, she's going to be a longer term project as it is, a young 21-year-old, so she's got time.